on the sports segment on Good Morning Anambra. Well, we have Uche Dayan that will be giving us updates on what's happening in the world of sports. Yesterday, a lot of people were singing. But now we've come to the end of the road, boys to men. If you remember that track, definitely. We thought Manchester City were seeing the end of the road yesterday in the Champions League, where Club Brugge came from nowhere and wanting to spoil the party for them. But then, like champions of Europe not too long ago, they dug in, and then that tenacity of what the Manchester City is known for in recent time really came to fore. And they won that match 3-1, and saving the blushes of the management of Etihad and then that of Pep Guardiola himself. Uche Dayan, what do you have for us?
Well, of course, we have a lot to talk about because the Champions League is something that we need to actually dissect. But before we talk about the Champions League and what happened yesterday, we have to talk about what is happening here in this, our own Nigeria, and of course in our African continent. Because of course we have our new coach talking about Eric Chell, who is actually already talking tough. Yes, he has come out to say that he knows that the Super Eagles will have a very, very, very good run in AFCON 2025. Now, of course, I am not alone today. Yes, I have someone else with me, and he's actually a die-hard Manchester United fan, isn't it?
Oh. So
He's
that's the introduction for me, a die-hard Manchester United fan.
Yes, he is a die-hard Manchester United fan. And of course, we have Prince Emeka in our midst, the magic fingers himself. Good morning, sir.
Thank you.
How do you feel this morning? Now, I know that we have Europa League to still talk about, and Manchester United will be there. So maybe you can give us whatever analysis you think Ruben Amorim will be having for today.
Well, he who is on the floor need no fear again. You know, don't need to fear anything again.
Okay, because you're already in the top 8, so you know you're going to finish up there.
We've been doing marvelously well when it comes to the big scene. You know, we're big scene players. We may not perform very well or creditably well when we underrate and undermine teams. But when we want to, you know, stand up for it, we stand up. We really stand up to it.
Okay, now
Amorim will.
Okay, now before we move to Europe, let's talk about what is happening here in Nigeria and our Super Eagles. Now, Eric Chell has come out to say that he knows the Super Eagles will have a very good run in AFCON 2025, and of course, he is going to be there as well to lead them. Now, the new coach of the Super Eagles, who is none other than the Malian himself, Eric Chell, he said this team is motivated to go all the way this time around. In his words, he said, yes, it's going to be difficult to win because there are 24 very good teams and some very good coaches. But I know I've got a team that is out for revenge, and I'm out for revenge too. So we are going to have a lot of fun. I know what this team is capable of, and our goal is clear, to leave the trophy in Morocco this time around. Now, he's already talking tough.
Yeah,
do you
sure.
believe him?
Yeah, I do. Because he tried to be very positive and sincere. He said all they need is to win 2 games. You know, they need to win 2 games to qualify.
Yes.
So he's already banking on it. But I would have thought he would start being very highly courageous, because courage is no match for an unfriendly shoe. You want to aim for the sky, you can land somewhere in the blues. You know, so but trying to aim for the blues initially, I think is quite pessimistic to me, because he should
He should have thought of winning the whole 3 matches.
Games. That's exactly why he was recruited. He was hired to take Nigeria back to her glorious days. But coming to say I will win 2 matches is going to be tough. It's sounding pessimistic.
And still talking about revenge as well.
Revenge, and what's revenge got to do with it?
Now let's talk about the whole criticism that came with his appointment. A lot of Nigerians were not happy. At the same time, there are many Nigerians that don't have any other thing to say, but okay, let us support him, but we were expecting more. Now, were you expecting more? Are you okay? Do you think his CV is enough?
I would have felt that you don't go for the score of very good where excellence is possible. If you will not go for maybe rated international European or American coaches, if you want to get home, bring maybe grassroots coaches, you would have made do with Nigerians. You know, there's no how you will not get somebody in Nigeria that's good. So I would have felt you encourage Nigerian ex-players who are coaches than going all the way, just shifting bets, getting to Africa and still getting somebody from Africa. You know, was it that wonderful and amazing that he's not been a world champion for his country?
True. Talking about what happened with Mali, they actually eventually lost to the winners in the last AFCON. Well, it seems most, will I say, the NFF, majority of the ex-players were actually behind him because the support was unwavering from our Super Eagles legends and the rest. But talking about Eric Chell, if you were to actually, will I say, if you had to talk to him one-on-one, is there any advice you want to give him at least concerning this particular Super Eagles team?
He should de-emphasize maybe federal character in choosing his players.
Okay.
Look at the players, look at their performances, look at their abilities to perform. The talent and creativity in them, the ability to match find out first what the problems we have. Because the problem known is almost halfway solved. That's what you have to find out. What's bringing us back? Why are we no longer the Super Eagles we used to be? There's a disconnect somewhere. So you try to fix it and de-emphasize what Nigerian government does, the way they encroach, the way they intervene unnecessarily.
And for certain players as well.
Yes, they want to favor. They have their quota. Just the same thing that happens everywhere. So if you have come, you should know that you were brought to make a name for yourself and for the country too, and for the continent, and to prove that you can fix it where it's broken.
Okay, okay. Now, of course, he's not the only one talking tough. Let's talk about the Ivory Coast coach, talking about MS Faye. Yes, Ivory Coast. He has actually come out to say that Ivory Coast will hold on to the title this time around. He said in his own words, sorry, Morocco, but we are bringing the trophy back to Abidjan. Now, they said the key to success for the Elephants will be great preparations, and that is non-negotiable. Now, there are so many teams that are coming to Morocco, but I have no intentions of making our supporters cry. Now, let's remember that Coach MS Faye is actually very confident of his team, and he actually took over from the last coach, the French coach they had before, Jean-Louis Gasset, after they had a very, very humiliating defeat against Equatorial Guinea in the group stage in 2023 AFCON. And he has brought so much to the Ivorian team. He actually took them all the way from being an assistant coach who has never been in charge of a major team except the under-19 to actually being the coach that brought the AFCON home to Ivory Coast. And now he's saying that Morocco and the rest of the teams have to deal with it, that they're going to hold on to it again. You know, yes, you did it the first time. The second time, I don't know, will I say that's luck?
Princess Diane, you just nailed it. That key word, confidence.
Exactly.
The word is confidence. When confidence speaks, uncertainty trembles. You are sure of what you're saying. He's already made other teams jittery. After speaking, after saying that he's getting it back, I got it, you wouldn't take it from me. It's not giving the monkey water that is the problem, but collecting the cup back from the monkey. So they've got it. I have it. You're not going to take it. You even get close. That I will only improve on what I have, which is the best. So that's why a Nigerian coach is already jittered and he's saying we'll win two. We need to win two matches. But this one says, I'm getting the trophy back. I'm taking it back, beating his chest and talking like a man, you know, who's got some things up his sleeves. Now,
of course, still talking about the group stage. Now, Nigeria is grouped with Tunisia, who were actually 2004 winners. And we also have Uganda and another East African giant, talking about Tanzania in that group. And then Cote d'Ivoire have a much tougher group. People are still talking whether their own is a group of death or it's group A, concerning Morocco, Mali, Zambia, and Comoros Islands. That will be the group A. And then the group F for Ivory Coast will be Ivory Coast will be taking on 5-time champions, Cameroon, Gabon, and Mozambique, and they're already talking tough that they will still hold on to it and they will defend it. And if they actually do, this will be the first time since Egypt of 2008 when a defending champion has actually defended again the AFCON title. And let's see how it goes this time around.
There's always a first time.
There's always a first time. Let's see if this will happen again. 2008 is a very
Names
long time.
no longer play football.
Exactly. That is a long time ago.
Names don't work any longer in football.
You know, he came with so much confidence. This man took over in the middle of the tournament. Yes. You can't get another outsider. He just came in as he took over till the very end, and you had to beat Nigeria, and you won it. And now he's coming back to say he's coming again. And it seems the winners and the first runners-up are the people that are talking tough right now. Nigerian coach is saying his own side, and then we have the Ivorian side saying they are talking tough as well. But let's see what will happen.
Attack is the best form of defense.
So far, it seems their own attack is
non-kinetic warfare. You know, there are verbal warfare. You know, when
sometimes it starts mentally and psychologically.
Yes,
so
psychological warfare.
Let's see how this AFCON will take place. Yes, it is starting from the 21st of December 2025 to the February 18th, to the 18th of the 2026. And that is what we have for the AFCON coming up this year, later this year. Now let's talk about what is happening in the European part of this world. Yes, we are leaving the African shores and we are going straight to Europe. Let's talk about what happened yesterday in the UEFA Champions League. It was a very, very, very thrilling experience. 18 matches. It was too much. But at the same time, football fans are never tired. Everybody had something to say. First of all, did you enjoy the whole 18-match thriller? All over, everywhere was champions. You can't even keep up with certain things.
Sport lovers, you know, had a field day yesterday. You know, we were happy. Everybody felt. But I can say for a couple of folks, people wished Manchester City maybe left the scene yesterday. Everybody had concluded when they were 1 goal down.
They were down to 26 at some point.
Nobody knew they were going to.
And they had to make this comeback.
Miraculous September.
Now, talking about the Champions League, a lot of people at first we were not. You know, they turned it into a league, just like the name emphasizes. Now, a lot of people were not happy with this new edition, but by yesterday, I don't know. It seems there were no haters.
No haters at all.
There were no
haters. People started
haters.
enjoying it, you know.
So this new format has come to stay.
It's come to stay.
And you're part of people that also love it.
I love it. I love it because it
compared to the last
a couple
stage.
of challenges to people that, in a way, if you don't make it, you're getting off.
Okay.
And Man City was threatened yesterday. They had to put their acts together, get back, come and show that they were champions.
Indeed. Now, let's give you the results of yesterday's matches. Yes, yesterday, Aston Villa defeated Celtic 4-2. Barcelona played a 2-2 draw with Atalanta, and that was another cracker to actually watch. That match was quite tough, and the Atalanta coach actually did say that without Ademola Lookman, that they know it was going to be very hard. And lucky enough, they got a draw. It seems the African best is still making his own name known wherever he is. And Atlanta really did miss him in that match. And then Bayer Leverkusen actually defeated Sparta Prague 2-0. Bayern Munich, after a humiliating 3-0 defeat to Feyenoord, defeated Slovan Bratislava 3-1. Borussia Dortmund defeated Shakhtar Donetsk 3-1 as well. And then Real Madrid actually defeated Brest 3-0. Dynamo Zagreb defeated AC Milan 2-1. For a team that is already eliminated and coming back to actually beat AC Milan, I don't know. That was another surprise. If you're not ready, someone that is ready will take it from you. That is the beauty of this Champions League.
It's true.
Now, Arsenal actually beat Girona 2-1. That was a narrow escape for Arsenal because there were some disallowed goals in that match. Inter Milan actually beat Monaco 3-0. And Benfica, another surprise of the match, Benfica defeated Juventus 2-0. I did not see that coming.
Nobody saw
that coming at all. Lille, this team has been on point from the beginning. They've been on form. They have been firing cylinders everywhere, beating Real Madrid as well. They had the highest tally of last night, defeating Feyenoord 6-1. Not 4, not 5, but 6-1. Yes, Man City, they came from behind to beat Club Brugge 3-1, and that match was very interesting. It had a lot of roller coaster. It had a lot of emotions. Pep Guardiola would not have slept at all if they lost that match. So kudos to them for actually coming through. And then another surprise was PSV beating Liverpool. Liverpool will eventually not have their 100% record because PSV actually did do something about that, beating them 3-2 at home. Yes, RB Salzburg, who are already eliminated, were actually defeated again by Atletico Madrid 4-1. Sporting played out a 1-1 draw with Bologna, which actually put them in the playoffs, lucky enough for them. And Storm Graz actually did beat Leipzig 1-0. Stuttgart lost to PSG by 4-1. And the young boys, who have been acting like old men, if you ask me, did lose to Red Star Belgrade 1-0. Yes, and that was how it was yesterday. It was quite an encounter. Now, which particular match did you watch yesterday?
I tried to watch
all of them.
Yes, because I was.
I don't think anybody watched one.
Nobody.
I don't think anyone just focused on one, because you want to know what's going on here. Yeah. At the same time, you want to know what's going on here, and there were sports channels that were showing every match. So every goal will be shown. You just have to see the goals, and then you go back to finding another one. And yesterday, it was a total of 57 goals scored. As of halftime, it was 33 goals that we had in the Champions League, talking about this new format. And now, taking the first position finally after 8 games will be Liverpool. They are having 21 points. Barcelona also, they have 19 points, and they actually second place. Now, for the third place to be Arsenal, and they are having 19 points as well, but a goal difference of 13. Inter Milan are coming fourth with a goal difference of 10, but they're having 19 points as well. Now, 18 points will be going to Atletico Madrid. Yes, the Atletico Madrid. Bayer Leverkusen comes sixth. Seventh will be Lille, this French outfit, making their name known. They are doing wonders right now in the Champions League. And Aston Villa, they eventually made the top 8. Luckily for them, they made the top 8 after beating Celtic. They actually did lose a penalty in that, talking about Ollie Watkins. He slipped before his penalty, and it was not worth it in the end. But they still made it to the top 8, edging out Atlanta, who are 9th position. Borussia Dortmund are 10th on the log. Now, from the 9th to the 24th, we'll be going for a playoff. Now, Borussia Dortmund are 10th on the log. Real Madrid 11th, and we have Bayern Munich coming 12th. AC Milan 13th. 14th place will be going to PSV, and then 15th place going to Paris Saint-Germain, what is PSG. Now, Benfica comes in 16th. 17th place will be going to Monaco with 13 points, and Brest are coming in 18, and Feyenoord having actually 12 points, 13 points, I beg your pardon, and they are 19th on the log. Juventus are 20th on the log, and Celtic 21st. And then from 22 to 24 will be Man City, Sporting CP, and Club Brugge. Yes. Now, from the 25th position to 36th, they have all been eliminated. Now, the next draw will be coming up on Friday by 12 p.m. Nigerian time, and that will be the draw for the playoffs. And we have the seeded and the unseeded. Now, Man City, thinking they made it to the playoffs, might actually
be facing Real Madrid.
They might actually be facing Real Madrid or Bayern. Now, I don't even know which one is better. At this point, you wish you were in top 8 and you're just resting there. Now, if you were to give it your own predictions, who do you think is coming out of the playoffs? Name the 8 teams you might be giving it to.
I know Real Madrid
will make it anyway.
I also feel that Bayern will also make it. These two. But, champions are champions. Most of the times,
So you're not sure of any 8? You're just sure of these two, Bayern and Real Madrid?
Real and Bayern.
You're not even sure of Man City?
Well, you know, they are dwindling at the moment. So you'll never be sure of what will happen. If not, maybe these people felt they were now champions that turned underdogs. So they underestimated them because they were beating them 1-0 for a pretty long time stretch. So Pep Guardiola had to bring out his ingenuity and eventually turn things around. It may not always happen like that. Most of the times, flukes do happen in games. People are conscious of the fall in pecking order in Europe for Manchester City at the moment.
Okay, now let's talk about the Europa League that will also be happening today. This is going to be another 18-game thriller. 18 games are going to start today by 9 p.m. Nigerian time, and if you have your team in the Europa League, of course, you are going to be watching everything. I think this one is much more relaxed because you just focus on your team and then that's it. So now we have we have crackers today. We have Ajax taking on Galatasaray. Yes, Victor Osimhen will be there. He will be representing Nigeria in that match, and hopefully let's see what happens. Anderlecht will be facing Hoffenheim, and Athletic Club will face Victoria Pleasant. Sporting Praga will take on Lazio, and Dynamo Kiev will take on RFS, and FCSB will be taking on Manchester United, Amorim's United. Now, talking about that match, you're expecting Man United to actually defeat FSB at home?
Man U is already...
You know, they've been unbeaten,
yes,
but it doesn't mean they've been winning. They've not been winning, but they've been unbeaten.
Yes.
Now, is this going to be a straight win?
Of course, not just as the Manchester United player, but you can see the record Manchester United has had in Europe this year. Not just this season. In Europe, our record has been
they can be doing
impeccable.
Whatever they are doing at home in the league, and then
in Europe, it's been impeccable.
Don't you think they should actually replicate that in the league as well?
Well, you have to fix your home first. Charity, they say, begins at home. When you have domestic problem, there's no man or woman that has domestic problem that gives his best outside.
Okay.
So Amorim has to first of all fix the problem he has internally, especially with Marcus Rashford.
Yes, we are still going to get to that. Now, of course, Man United are actually in the top 8 of the Europa League table. Now, Lazio are taking first position with 19 points. Frankfurt are taking 16 points, and they are coming second on the log. Athletic Club are actually having 16 points with a goal difference of 6. The same thing with Frankfurt, but they are third. Manchester United, they are currently fourth on the log with 15 points, despite their shaky start. And Lyon are actually fifth on the log with 14 points. Tottenham are actually sixth, and we have Anderlecht seventh. And rounding up the top 8 will be FCSB, who are actually the current opponents that Manchester United have this night. So if they do beat FCSB this night, they will still retain their top 8. If they do not, they might step down a little bit. But I do not. Are they in danger of falling out?
No,
I don't really think so. They are not in danger of falling out. They might just take the 8th place this time around.
If they want to favor them, that's match fixing.
Indeed. Well, I don't think that is what will happen this time around. Now, of course, we know this is what will be happening in the Europa League. Now, let's talk about what is going on in the transfer segment. Yes, now we have to talk about Manchester United because they've been in the news, and it seems the transfer rumors about Manchester United has been something serious. Now, let's talk about Patrick Dogu, who is actually the new signing of Manchester United. He is expected to arrive today ahead of his Manchester United move, and will be actually concluding his medicals today. Now, Manchester United have been trying to actually finish up all the paperwork for and actually pay the fee. Talking about, this is understood to be around £25.2 million, but plus £4 million in add-ons for the defender. Talking about Patrick Dogu. Now, as a Man United fan, are you happy about this signing?
Yeah, sure, because not only just
it's a very young,
not just because I'm from Manchester United, I'm a Manchester United fan. But you know, Dogu is one of us.
Yeah.
He's our brother.
Indeed.
Are you aware?
Yes, I am.
Are you aware he's from Umuji?
Indeed. Well, having another another, would I say, black defender, it seems that they have been doing so well in Manchester United for a while now.
This is the first time. It's a big plus for Nigeria. It's a big plus for Anambra State. It's a big plus for Idemili local government, especially for Umuji. I know it's not easy. This is the biggest team in the world, the biggest club in the world,
and we've also had a Nigerian feature in Man United before. Yes. And this time around, it might just, this is actually quite nice because, first of all, I think he's one of the major signings they are making in this window because he's been very hard keeping up, trying to get the players, and eventually people were asking. Now, let's talk about what is happening involving another Nigerian, talking about Victor Boniface and Al Nassr. And now it seems that deal is off. Yes, it seems that Victor Boniface will not be going to Saudi Arabia to join Al Nassr because Al Nassr are believed actually to have agreed on a deal to sign Aston Villa's John Duran instead. Yes, the Saudi club are expected to pay just over £64 million. That is 77 million euros. For John Duran, and he will be going to Saudi Arabia very soon. Now, they said only one striker can be signed. It is either Victor Boniface or John Duran. And if Victor Boniface had been chosen, he would have been one of the highest paid Nigerian and African ever in the history of football.
This Victor's case is that of getting to heaven. I'm forgetting the key on earth.
It seems things like this keep happening. We talk about the AFCON, and then there was it not the under-17? The same thing happened. He didn't make it. I don't know. This near success syndrome, if you ask me.
Yes, I think Nigeria is the second most prayerful country in the world. So maybe he needs to come back and let them pray for him. Maybe all these churches we have in Nigeria should start praying for.
Is it really prayer that is the problem?
So I wonder what the problem is.
Well, at this point,
is it faith?
It's okay to ask. Now, let's talk about what is happening with other clubs. Talking about Man United are also in the race for Matthias Tel, who is going to be leaving Bayern. Now, there are 7 clubs, including Manchester United, in the race for this young man's signature. First of all, I know you want him in Manchester United. You do you not?
Whether I want him?
Yes.
Well,
Matthias
I'm a very unconventional person when it comes to public discourse like this. I don't follow the crowd. I don't follow the wind. I do not quite believe that the problem in Manchester United has to do with the crop of players they have. I think the approach, the system. Take the players you have in Manchester United and hand over to Liverpool or Manchester City coach or whatever other coach. You see them.
Truthfully, you see some players leave. You see some players leave Man United and they do well.
Virtually all. See, look at. Okay, take Rashford for instance and go and drop him in Barcelona.
Where we are. This actually
drop him in Barcelona and see what he's going to do. Because if Erling Haaland had come to Manchester United by the time he went to Man City, he would have been a forgotten product.
Now, coming to that Manchester United problem, talking about Ruben Amorim and Marcus Rashford, they are said to not be in talking terms. And of course, Ruben Amorim had to come out and actually clarify his statement, saying he was ready to field the 63-year-old goalkeeping coach. Now, he said he did not say that just for Marcus Rashford.
That's damage control.
If you ask me, I would say so.
He
did not mention Marcus Rashford, but he was saying it for any
he
other
was asked
player
a question about Marcus Rashford.
Isn't ready to give his all. But he said he still maintained what he's saying unless Rashford changes. Now, he has not said the change he wants. I don't know if it is on the pitch or if it's an attitude problem. Unless he changes, he will still continue with his standard of not letting him play. Unless he changes and he gives his maximum, he will not be allowed back into the team. Now, what is going on? At this point, it's no longer just about football, if you ask me.
Thank you.
I think it's beyond that.
You know, what happens anywhere you don't blame them at some point, it's natural for people who don't believe in equity and justice and standards. When Eric Ten Hag was recruited, when he was hired to come to Manchester United, before the preseason, before he left Ajax, he had already said that Cristiano Ronaldo was not in his plans. So the young man had to look for a way out. Look for survival instinct provides that he knew he was not going to be in this man's plan, so he decided he was not going to feature in the preseason. He started training on his own and started making his contacts to go elsewhere because this man will rubbish him. And it did happen. It did happen. The man said he was not fit, he was not this, and didn't play him for a couple of games.
And eventually when he did, he blamed him for many things.
Thank you. Now, the same thing with Amorim. Maybe because Ten Hag said Marcus Rashford was part of the reason he was sacked or whatever, he didn't like Rashford. He made the same statement before coming. Rashford was ready to work with him. And immediately he came, he tried to rubbish the young man by putting him as major striker to lead in his first game so that people would see that he couldn't perform. Immediately he put him there. The fastest goal in the history of Manchester United was scored by Rashford. At the blast of the whistle, Rashford had the ball in the net. Without knowing they had internal wars or whatever that was going to come, I watched that game as a fan. And I saw immediately Rashford scored that goal, the coach was asking everybody to pull back. I was watching it. I never knew there was anything. But I saw after that goal, so I was wondering, why would you want us to score just one? Eventually that game ended 1-1 with Ipswich or what?
Yes.
Yes, 1-1. So from that day, he did everything, you know, giving a dog a bad name just to hang it. He did everything to ensure Rashford did not perform well. Tried to say a lot of things in just one game. And now came up and said Rashford and Garnacho did not do well in training and all those. Exiled them, axed them off. And since then, he felt maybe people would say, what has Garnacho? And he brought back Garnacho. At the same time, insisted he's not part of his system and plan. So Rashford, I'm trying to say, coaches do this. Everybody wants, as we are now, Diane, I've got to know you. And if I'm appointed anywhere in what has to do with sports, I will recommend Diane.
Okay.
So in the process, I can push others away and say Diane must be there.
All right. Well, of course, we will still be monitoring to see what happens between Ruben Amorim and Marcus Rashford. But for now, this is the end of our program for today. And of course, you can still join us tomorrow and till next week. And even upwards from that, where we'll discuss much more that will be coming from the world of sports. And don't forget to watch Europa Games tonight. I'm still your host, Uchenna Diana Onobo. Goodbye for now. See you some other time.